Again, thank you, Gwendolyn. It is not easy to stand up and tell your story to a room full of people. And she did that so that you could understand the powerful work that Lyft is doing every day in cities across this country and right here in DC. And this year, Lyft will help 10,000 people like Gwendolyn and their families chart a path out of poverty. And by being here tonight, you are providing the support that allows that to happen. Just have a few comments that I want to make and then get to some thanks. But I think what Gwendolyn's testimonial demonstrates really is the power of the Lyft concept, which is that our lives are incredibly complicated, and it takes a lot of support for us to be able just to get by, much less to thrive in life. And I bet every single one of us in this room could count, could quickly expend all of our fingers just thinking of the number of people in the last week, much less the last month, that we've had to call on, that we've had to pay to help us get by. Lawyers, accountants, babysitters, emergency carpool drivers, dog sitters, you name it. And still, it's really hard to get by. But life living under the weight of poverty is particularly complex and difficult because you don't have the financial resources to pay for all of that help, but you still need all of it. So where do you turn when you need support, and you need it to be customized, and you need it to reflect the fact that you're a human being who probably has a whole lot of interconnected issues, because it's not just about a job, it's about your housing, it's about your confidence in the world and your confidence in yourself. Well, I think our belief is that the one thing that we can do to uncomplicate this kind of quagmire of issues that affect all of our lives is the act of actually getting help, of getting quality, comprehensive, customized help. And so poverty is complicated, but getting help shouldn't have to be. And that really is the core principle behind Lyft. I think the unfortunate thing I have to say is that we live in a society where our prevailing poverty alleviation system for decades at this point is really defined by silos and red tape and cynicism in a way that doesn't help anyone. So while our main goal every single day is to help individuals like Gwendolyn chart a sustainable path out of poverty, we also really do see ourselves being a part of a much larger movement in this country, one that aims to redefine how it is that we combat poverty and expand opportunity, and, like Phil mentioned, kind of deploy strategies that harness the very American principles of entrepreneurship, innovation, a focus on outcomes, and a focus on new ideas. So you here are a part of this movement, and I probably don't need to say that there really has never been a more important time for this work. Sadly, we do come out of this great recession still, though, as a less equal, less mobile, less economically secure society than we've probably ever been in most of our lifetimes. And the recovery for people at the bottom of the economy is going to be really slow and really tough. And so we all have to dig in, and this effort to remake America really as an opportunity society, as what defines who we are, has to be all of our movement. So I want to say some things about the piece of the movement that you're supporting tonight, and that is Lyft's work. It's been a really great year for Lyft. Many of you were with us last year at Nancy Jacobson's beautiful home when we actually revealed the Lyft brand, which she and her husband and the team at Burson Marsteller had helped us establish. And I don't know what you all think, but it's been an incredible transformation for us, and so many people have latched on to the way in which the brand really embodies the work that we're doing to lift families and lift communities all across the country. So with that, we've been very, very pleased to be able to significantly expand our services nationwide. We're looking at up to 100% increases in the number of families that we're serving. And right here in Washington, D.C., we're proud to have recently opened our second operation in the Columbia Heights community, supporting a predominantly Latino population, and working in collaboration with the our wonderful partners at Centronia and the DC Bilingual Public Charter School. Our Lyft office is inside of a public charter school so that parents who are struggling and need help can be immediately referred to us. They can drop off their kids and then come to the Lyft office and work on finding stable housing, employment, and the services that will allow their kids to have a prosperous future. So we are really thrilled about that. And that's a part of a larger strategy that we've launched. It's an ambitious one, but our goal is to take Lyft services to over 100,000 additional families in our 5 major cities, including right here in Washington, D.C. over the next 5 years. We want to reach an additional 25,000 families here in Washington, like Gwendolyn. And to do that, we know that we have to bring in top-notch talent. We have to bring in some very powerful new partners. And we have to amass more public recognition so that we can gain the necessary support to do it. And I've got some exciting progress on all fronts to report. The first is on talent. I'm very proud of the fact that we have hired outstanding executive director here in Washington, D.C., Raelle Nelson James over here. Wave your hand, make yourself known. And she is really going to be leading the next stage of our expansion vision here in Washington, including what we think is a very urgent need to expand Lyft services east of the river. So Raelle is going to be guiding that for us, and we're thrilled to have her. On the partnership front, we're proud this year that in 2 of the most competitive cities on the planet, New York and Washington, D.C., we've been selected by 2 of the most competitive venture philanthropists to get involved with Lyft. In New York, we were brought into the Robin Hood portfolio, which many of you may know of this year. And right here in D.C., we are so thrilled to have been selected as the newest partner for Charity Works, which is a very, very powerful venture philanthropy organization. Diana Belli from Charity Works is over here. With the support of Charity Works, starting at the end of this year, they will be providing some critical growth capital to help us achieve this vision of reaching 25,000 new families with our services in DC. So we are so grateful for that kind of partnership. And then on the public recognition front, we've been just so thrilled this year that even in the Washington think tank world, Lyft has been acknowledged by groups like the Aspen Institute and Center for American Progress this year as a model of what's working in poverty alleviation and national service. We've been so fortunate to have some wonderful press. Hopefully many of you saw the long format NewsHour piece that was done on Lyft a few months ago and the recent CNN feature. We also have, for the first time, started to figure out how to bring in the support of some celebrities with big megaphones and the ability to really help us spread the word about Lyft, including Diane von Furstenberg, and very proud also of the fact that recently the just brilliant and extraordinary musician Ben Harper has signed on to be Lyft's newest spokesperson and a true Pied Piper for our cause, so everyone should be excited about that. More to come on that, but you'll see him in Lyft t-shirts and stuff like that soon enough. And one of the things I'm most proud of is just the amount of recognition that we've received from our university partners this year who help to support the volunteers that deliver our services. We've received year-end accolades and awards from the University of Pennsylvania, Temple University, Fordham University up in the Bronx, and right here in DC. I have to embarrass Bashara Addison. Is she anywhere around here? Where are you, Bashara? Are you hiding? Wave your hand, okay. Why don't you come up here? But along with, we've just gotten so much wonderful support from one of our partners here, George Washington University. And Bashara here, thanks, who is a senior student director of ours, who this academic year has given over 300 hours of service to Lyft, was recognized as a very central reason why Michelle Obama is going to be giving the graduation address at George Washington, because of the volunteer work that Bashara and others have done to reach Michelle Obama's challenge. Bashara was featured in the Washington Post, and was it Time or Newsweek or something else like that? So anyways, but we, you should also all know her. So it's very exciting to see the momentum that we have underway now.